Hey guys, on here, welcome back. So, a couple things up front. Obviously, this video is late. It's for a multitude of reasons. I know not everybody pays attention to the community post stuff. I had a bit of an episode the other night with Pop-Tart. We were spent like 6 hours at the animal ER because she had probably one of her worst fits that we've seen at all. I'm not even gonna lie, it was terrifying. I thought that was gonna be it. Thankfully, though, without any intervention at all, once we got her there, she seemed to stabilize. You know, she calmed down. They cleaned her up and, sent us home with some medicines that may help mitigate some of the intensity of it if it happens again, as well as some pain relief. For anybody that doesn't know, our cat, who shows up every now and then on the channel in certain videos here, was diagnosed with cancer just a few weeks ago. She's got a tumor in her right nostril. So every now and then it gets a little irritated and she'll sneeze and stuff that shouldn't be coming out starts coming out. And it got real bad the other night, and it was just, yeah. So I spent the entire night there, and then also storms are sweeping the East Coast at the moment. So by the time we finally did get back home, our internet was out. So that's one of the main reasons, and work was just nuts today, so I apologize for that. But yeah, guys, with that all said, let's go ahead and get ready to hop into Secret Invasion. Last week left us in quite the precarious situation. We are moving into the penultimate episode. Next week's the finale. I still feel like, and this is the situation with all these 6-episode Marvel shows, is like we get to a point where, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, how are we going to wrap all this up? How is this going to come all and tie itself up all nice and neat? Will it? Sometimes it doesn't. So this show in particular, I've been really enjoying it. I've been liking the tone. I've been loving the performances. So I really do hope that this one sticks the landing. Let's go ahead and get ready to hop in. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It will be in watch along format. You just need to sync up your own footage with the time code so you're reacting the entire episode. Get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover here on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind the scenes footage. I try to make it worth your while, so you're going to always support the channel. But guys, if you enjoyed this reaction, really appreciate it. If you leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. With that all said and down the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 5. Here we go.
Need to start pounding blood transfusion. We've got to cool away.
Oh. It's the president. I got a little excited. I thought it was Talos for a second, but it would make sense. He's not in his human form. He can't be right now.
Possibly.
You think you can tolerate it? Whatever you do not.
On top of, he left.
Pulse is dropping. Let's go.
Sir, do you have clearance? Then stay outside.
Oh, I wonder how the news is going to spin that if they got footage of it. Oh, wow. I really want to see how Gaia reacts to the news of Talos.
You had another chance to kill Fury today, and you didn't take it.
Because he has what we need.
Explain it to us. You told me Fury hid the Avengers' DNA, but it wasn't in any of the locations you provided.
Oh.
Fury never trusted you, and it makes me start to wonder, why should we...
And the only reason Fury was on that motorway was because his traitor wife defied my direct order. Do you understand? Well, then you send some of our people to Vara's house and kill her.
I mean, he still had the opportunity to kill him himself, too. He's not wholly wrong. I feel like it's some mild deflection here, but it's working. But my lord, this is, for the MCU, this show's been pretty brutal, dude.
Change of plans. You keep Ritson alive. Make sure he knows it wasn't just the Russians who did this.
Oh.
Prove to him there are Skrulls living here in Russia, and that they must all be eliminated.
Gravik, have you lost your damn mind?
No. This is leverage, Rava.
Yeah. Rava.
And if we don't get what we want?
Well, then we all do what we've prepared for. Sacrifice.
Where's the president? These damn people just giving out classified information. Lock this whole place down right now. Whoa. Okay. Calm down. The country appreciates your service to the president tonight, but I'm here now. You can go.
You must be out of your Skrull-ass mind. You think I'm gonna let you get anywhere near the president?
Let me give you a little heads up. In about 60 seconds, The footage of you killing Maria Hill is gonna lead off every news program all across the hemisphere. That's right. And you're gonna become the most wanted and hated man on the planet.
You didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did. So tick-tock, Nick.
Bop!
Tell Gravik I'm coming for him.
Tell him yourself.
Damn, man, what the fuck? These scenes are really good.
This just in. Former S.H.I.E.L.D. Director Nicholas Fury is being sought for the murder of former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Maria Hill.
I know this isn't unheard of in the history of the MCU, but for him to play this character as well as his role in Daredevil Season 2 doesn't quite write things out.
Sonya,
Politely asking the location of Dr. Rosa Dalton.
have you lost your mind, woman?
Just showing Director Weatherby's true colours. Come and look at that.
Ah.
No official policy on killing Skrulls, so unless you want me to enact my personal preference right now, you should start talking.
Nice.
What are you confused about?
Pagan. He failed us.
Speak.
He's out of surgery. Don't worry. I'll handle it. Once he's awake, I'll send confirmation of the strike.
Oh. Oh, whoa. Wow, man. Lost that loyalty. Oh. I mean, he's shown that he's willing to sacrifice his own to do what he needs to do, using them just as pawns, just like everything else. Finally seeing Gravik as an adult, as a Skrull.
Nothing but a monster.
Wow. I don't know what's going on with Disney Plus right now, but it's stuttering every now and then. I have trouble just getting it to start earlier. Oh. Oh, this is the old place.
What DNA did Gravik steal?
Only a few samples. Cull obsidian, flora colossus. But he took those because he couldn't find what he was looking for.
What was he looking for?
Something he called the Harvest.
Hmm.
I need to bury my father.
Take him to Priscilla. She'll know what to do. Oh, shit. I'll be in touch.
Where are you going?
Finland. Gonna be all right, kid?
Don't worry about me. I'll put on a good face.
I will say, so far, I think this is the most consistent of the shows at the time.
Hello, Skrulls. Who would you like me to be? To give you a couple of examples, I'm very good at being your bestie. I'm also devilishly good at being not your bestie. It's really just a matter of taste. Cake or death.
Get out.
Ooh, now this is quite the clerical error. Nigel, we're going to have someone in admin either fired or, you know, shot, because this is becoming a bit of a health hazard.
No, my name's Victor.
Nigel's the one with his silencer pressed against the base of your skull.
I love her, man.
I won't let her betray Gravik. Let us go, or I'll kill her.
That's some interesting ADR.
The males in my species are very similar. If they're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder. That's what all the podcasts are about.
Oh! Oh, God. They really didn't expect that.
You're the one he sent to kill me?
I'm Gaia. Fury said you could help me bury my father.
No.
If I don't get what I want, your president's gonna bomb New Skrullos, and the war is on. Bring some iodide pills. The reactor room can be touch aggressive.
I know what that means now after watching Chernobyl. Check out my reactions to that beautiful series.
Feel a lot better if we were on the helicarrier.
Yeah, that's been mothballed. Voila. Figured you might need that on the other side. You're welcome.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a minute, right? That's the same guy from Black Widow, right?
He was our general. He deserves a procession of mourners.
They really did it.
Do you have the offering?
Yeah, I figured they wouldn't fake us out. Again, so close to the other.
It was my mother's. I don't know the prayer.
It's okay. I know it.
Wow, the disconnect the generational disconnect already. I mean, she's never known a Skrull home.
He'd sit there by the window, letting the sun kiss his skin, and I'd get lost.
He ever get lost watching you in your own skin?
That's none of your business. I'd rather meet the bastard standing right here in my happiness than to meet them running down some dark alley.
Guess the show finally got fed up with all these long sentimental talks. Hell yeah. She's channeling her Sarah Connor right now. They did it. I'll also add, you know, every time we have one of these sequences, even if it does get kind of cutty, it's cut in a way that accentuates the flow, which I do really appreciate. So even if it's jumping around a lot, you can always kind of follow it at least. Dude, I was thinking about that. I was like, when was the last time? Dude, they used those like once and then like they just disappeared.
$1 billion of research and development, and all the Widow's Veil can cloak is your face. Never mind.
I'm glad they brought it back.
Last I checked, Britain and the US were allies.
Well, last I checked, Rhodey is a Skrull.
What?
You said I'd lost my touch.
Well, who in the hell isn't a Skrull these days?
If I don't give Gravik the harvest, then Rhodey is going to incinerate the Skrull compound, all the Skrulls and humans trapped inside. Russia will retaliate and the world will lose its mind.
Yes, yes. War. What, the harvest?
Nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the Battle of Earth. Even Carol Danvers.
Oh, fuck.
So you are responsible for all this?
Yeah. Why do you think I came back?
Fury, why haven't you called any of your special friends down?
We can't keep depending on these superheroes to swoop in and save our asses.
Yeah, you can.
The only power I have was planted between my ears by a single mother and wrapped around my finger by a woman. It's far greater than I could ever hope to be. If that ain't enough, then I don't know what hope we have.
Don't you have another one of these?
Oh, I got these all over the place.
Why Finland?
Priscilla and I honeymooned here. Skrulls like the cold. Now you understand.
So let me clarify. You knew how dangerous this vial was, so swapped its location to protect it from Gravik, and now you're going to give it to him.
Exactly.
They do say Darwin never sleeps. Let's give our extinction a nice leg up.
Oh.
It's time. Let's finish this.
Man, I'm so mildly disappointed about the Talos thing, man. I just like that character so much, and I I wanted him to see this, dude. I really did. The fruition of their efforts in a way. I do hope, though, that it does come up about him saving the president. I really do hope it comes back around to show that not all of them are like Gravik. I really hope that his efforts bear fruit, whether it be from Gaia now carrying on the torch after spending time with Fury's wife, and then their whole interaction was great, especially when they were talking about her relationship with Fury and what that means, and especially like the funeral too, because I like that generational element that came with this as well, just from that one little scene where she's trying to lay her father to rest, but she's never been able to live out the Skrullos traditions. Like, she doesn't know the funeral prayer, because it's this disconnect that they haven't had. He's, like she said, like he died on foreign soil and foreign earth on a foreign street, all this stuff, and that's all she's known since they've been on a run, since the war with the Kree broke out. She's never known a home. So it was really interesting to see that just a little moment kind of be an encapsulation of that, where she had to rely on her to give the rights. And then again, her kind of being checked about her hubris about the situation, her thinking like she knows everything that's going on when she starts to judge their relationship or judge her father's point of view and all that. I like that somebody was there, one of her own, to call her out on it. And then I like how Gravik is willing to go the distance. He's willing to play his own people, because we've established, at least up to this point, that multiple different nuclear silos across Russia house Skrulls. It's not just New Skrullos, but still, he's willing to sacrifice them in a play to get what he wants for the long term. Even though his own people maybe don't know the full extent of the plan, except for Rhodey, Rava, the willingness and the willfulness to kill out anybody that stands up to him or falters in the mission to execute them the way he does is starting to show and kindle disloyalty, fear even, that they might be next, or that he's going to lead them into ruin the farther he goes. They tried to take him out, unsuccessfully though, because he has leveled himself up. Now, I know earlier in the video I said that I kind of liked that they were at least acknowledging some of the things that we were kind of like, why didn't Gravik do this? Why didn't Gravik do that? Why, like, these changes of mind, while it was kind of accentuated earlier, with certain things that he's done before with adapting to the situation, after kind of letting it sit for a little while, and as things started to change and evolve, I don't know if I'm exactly following along with his machinations. Some things aren't wholly adding up to me with Gravik and his mental processes. Like, I get his end goal, I get what he's trying to do, but there's some ways that he's going about it I'm not wholly understanding. And I think this is one of the things that I would, like I've said before, I would have liked to have seen more of how, and maybe we'll get it in the next episode, but I would have liked to have seen, at least by this point, a little bit more of Gravik and how Fury's abandonment has shaped him now, how they're treated has shaped him now, and like see some of that psychology behind that, and maybe we could understand him a little bit more. I think that's one of the criticisms I do have of the show right now, is that I feel like Gravik, while understandable, relatable, and his goals I get, as extreme as they are and why he's going about it this way, at the same time, I don't get how he got to that point. You know, it's just, I wish we've seen some more of that. And we've still got nothing about his involvement with Soren's death. That has not been resolved yet either. There's just something about Gravik by this point that's just feels off, and maybe that's purposeful, because not only do at least I feel a little off about him, but his own followers are feeling off about him right now, and I just don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that, and that is a little bit, I think, of a problem. Olivia Colman, every scene she's been in has been a beautiful, fun scene. I love the way she's written. I love her snarkiness, but also love her calculated coldness that comes out. Like when she disarmed that Skrull that took the doctor hostage, and she was just like, talking about the way things go. He's like, it doesn't matter what species, it's all the same. And the guy just, he didn't think, she just like, bam, no thought. I love it. The brutality of it. Tony Curran showing up for a hot second as a Skrull. His second time in a Marvel property. Well, I don't know. He may have been in other things as well, but he was definitely in Daredevil and now this. It was fun seeing him for just a hot second. Again, another scene that just shows her calculated maneuvers. She's just pop, and her confidence. I just love it all. And then again, we're moving along through this whole thing, even though not everything's gone according to plan, but Fury has been keeping up quite well with everything that's been thrown at him. He did have quite the shock to the system, though, with Maria, and that was kind of the instigator to move forward. But ever since then, I don't think he's really been as on his back foot as everybody seems to think. So I'm very curious to see how this all culminates. You know, this is another shorter episode because it really kept the pace and the setup. I'm very curious to see, again, how they wrap it all up. I would say there's not a lot to wrap up compared to what has been established in other things. You know, the strike hasn't happened. He's just going to meet with Gravik. There's probably going to be a throwdown of some sorts. I don't know if he'll get Harvest. I don't know if he'll get the Avengers powers. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we're really only building up to a singular meet, and everything kind of hinges around that meet. So unlike some of the other shows, I feel like we have a reasonable amount to wrap up in a singular episode, given it has enough time to kind of breathe. That said, I thought the pacing in this episode was really nice. I thought the performances was really nice. I really liked, the dialogue, and I like that the show up until this point has had a lot of really lovely little conversations, and we spend a lot of time in those conversations. And I'm wondering if that was like a self-aware moment where the back and forth between Gaia, again, I don't remember her name. I still haven't attached to it, but Fury's wife, they were kind of in the middle of one, and they kind of pulled an Aquaman where the action interrupted it. So we just kind of like, all right, that's nice. We've had a couple already. We're going to have another one after this. Let's just interrupt this one and move on. And we got a nice little badass little action scene in there. And again, talking about the action, we'll go into the brutality of it all. You know, this has been the most brutal, I think, MCU thing we've had. You know, from the blood to the gore that's not like Werewolf by Night, which was in black and white, so I don't know how much that really counts compared to that. But like, he impaled that dude, slit a throat, you know, shot leg, hand wound, boom, his face in the last one. Then the whole like butcher shop scene and all that, the finger, the combat knife, and the show's teetering on a little bit on the edge of where Marvel would be afraid to play in typically. But overall, I think this was another solid, pretty strong episode. Again, it's been consistent for me. I know some people aren't like wholly enthralled on the slow, kind of more thrillery nature of this show. It doesn't really grip them as much as some of the other ones. But I honestly, I find this more gripping personally than some of the other stuff because I feel like it's more grounded. It's more personal. The stakes are more real and relatable. And I just really like seeing it parse out like this because it's kind of like this little bit of a slow burn what they give us these sprinkles of action and intrigue throughout. And it's just rife with great conversations. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this season so far. So guys, what do you think? How do you think it's going to proceed in the next episode? I'd love to hear what you guys think. What's your theories? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Check out the description below for ways you can help with the strikes and inform yourselves. Remember, if you want to check out the full-length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Sherritt, Ryan, Karen, Yuri Kurskov, Margaret Grace, Melito, Baragiano, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake Cantrell, and Eric Official. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.